My CEO wife thinks every guy who marries her just wants her money. Anything over $100. And I have to report it to her. But because I love her, I'm okay with being the man behind her career. On the day of the car accident, she denied my $3,000 surgery request. She said, "Do you know $3,000 is what many people live on for a month? I'm not earning money for you to leech off me." Without timely surgery, my hand ended up permanently damaged. Just after getting off the operating table, a childhood friend of hers, who just returned from abroad, posted a photo on social media. It showed a $5 million watch with the caption, "Some little girl still wants to give me the best, just like when we were kids," tagging Christina. I didn't react like I usually would, with arguments and fuss. Instead, I liked the post. "Great, you two spend your whole lives like this." "John, what do you mean by your comment to Peter? Everyone was having fun. But now he feels guilty because of you. He just got back. What's wrong with me giving him a gift? We've known each other since we were kids. Can you stop being so irrationally jealous? Is that so? Sorry, it won't happen again." The line went quiet suddenly. Every time we fought over Peter, I'd demand an explanation from her. Even though it always ended badly and I was the one left hurting, I'd still want her to prove something to me next time. This was the first time I didn't argue back against her questioning. She didn't realize this accident made me rethink our relationship. I hung up before she could respond. After deleting that comment, Christina's call came in. This time, her tone had softened. "I'm not blaming you. Anyway, where are you?" "The hospital." "Okay, you probably can't afford a cab, right? I'll come to get you." The hospital corridor was dark and without heating. It was a bit chilly on this snowy New Year's Eve. My hands, red from the cold, gripped the phone tightly, and suddenly it all felt ironic. "Aren't you curious why I'm at the hospital?" Peter's voice came from her side. "Christina, is John still mad at me? I didn't think he'd overthink this." I replied coldly, "Christina." She had just said she'd come to pick me up. After a pause on the other end, she said, "I'll send the driver to get you," and hung up. Listening to the empty beep, I closed my phone and sighed. As expected, the one left behind was still me. Same as always. But surprisingly, there weren't any tears. No sadness. Just a little heartache for myself. I stood at the hospital entrance. The cold wind swept my one long parka, full of chilly air. A homebound taxi driver stopped and rolled down the window. "Need a ride home? I can take you for free so you can enjoy the New Year's Eve dinner." I smiled softly. "Thanks, but someone's picking me up." Taxi after taxi passed, but Christina's driver never showed. Maybe they forgot about me again. I didn't flood her with calls like before, demanding she come immediately. Instead, I flagged down a passing cab. I knew I had no money on me, but I couldn't bring myself to contact her again. As the car reached my neighborhood entrance, fireworks suddenly exploded across the sky, lighting up half the night. I paused, and the taxi driver explained with a smile. "I heard it's a fireworks show bought by Christina for her husband's return. It costs $1,000 per display." "Christina's husband?" I turned to the driver, who nodded. "Yeah. Heard he just got back. There was a misunderstanding about her and another man, so she spent big to show her loyalty. Christina went all out. Can you believe it? So I'm the other man, huh?" I lowered my eyes, giving a silent smile. The driver marveled. "It's a good thing rich folks splash out like this. Us regular folks get to enjoy the fireworks too." I looked out at the window. True. Such a grand display of love makes it hard to tell who Christina's real husband is. No wonder picking me up wasn't a priority. "Sir." "Sir?" The driver's voice brought me back to reality. He apologized and smiled. "You haven't paid yet." I slipped my wedding ring onto the front seat. "No change needed." "Wait, sir. That's too much, sir." Ignoring the driver's calls, I walked into the neighborhood. As I was about to enter the dark villa, a huge burst of light flared behind me. I turned around to see even brighter sparks forming a gigantic rose in the sky, while drones spelled out, "Love like youth, no cost spared." I thought maybe the person far away feels happy. The dazzling fireworks lit up half the city, except for the shadow it left me in. A few steps forward brought me into the illuminated area. This was the warmth my wife crafted for another man. Briefly, my heart ached. Each time Christina rejected my important financial requests, Ken would always cover the costs for me. I shook my head. No, I wanted to ask if the company is hiring. It took a good 5 seconds of silence on the other end before Ken spoke. Incredulously, "You're coming back? Thought it over?" "Yes." Ken and I started a company together after college. When business was booming, I met Christina through a partnership meeting. She was the one I had a crush on since university. Those were beautiful days. Christina had a sensitive stomach and only ate more when I cooked. She slept poorly, finding deep sleep only in my arms. For her, I agreed to her request to give up work. Ken often warned me against surrendering my career, especially at a time when our company was growing strong. He'd constantly paint the picture of our skyrocketing business, with me eventually turning into a billionaire entrepreneur. But back then, I just smiled and said, for her, I'd give up everything. I handed all my shares to Ken, putting heart and soul into caring for Christina. I kept finding myself abandoned and helpless time and time again. Of course I lacked that. Ken raised his voice a notch. "Are you serious? Are you saying that just 'cause you're mad at her?" I laughed. "I swear to you. Then if I want to set up an overseas branch, I need someone like you who's pioneering. Want to go abroad together, bro?" "Absolutely." "Awesome. Then hurry up and take the IELTS. You only need a 6. I'll stick with you. We can leave by next month." After hanging up, I dug out the dusty IELTS practice papers. I should have taken it long ago, but then I met Christina. My English is just okay, so I have to start working hard now. My body felt weak after the recent surgery, so I sat in my study with tiger balm on my temples, working on essay structures. Because my right hand lost its function in a car accident, I practiced with my left hand over and over. Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep at my desk. In a half-dream state, I heard something outside the door. "You sure John won't mind me taking you home?" Then Christina's slightly tipsy voice. "No, he just begged me not to leave him." "Hey, Christina, be careful." A shout rang out, and the study door burst open, jolting me awake. Christina was leaning against Peter, arms wrapped around her waist, smelling of alcohol. I looked up from my desk. "You guys are back?" I rubbed my eyes and yawned. Peter let go of Christina, looking panicked. "Sorry, John. Christina drank too much. There were no cars around, so I brought her back." "Oh, thanks a lot." I didn't question what Christina's chauffeur was doing. Instead, I chuckled, patted his shoulder. "Your face is red from the cold. Thanks for bringing her back." Peter was stunned. Even Christina frowned. "John, are you being sarcastic?" Not at all." "John, I didn't mean it." Peter suddenly grabbed my arm. "Blame me if you have to. Don't fight with Christina because of me." I handed a hot water bottle to Peter. "Here, hold this. Stay warm." Peter fell silent, clutching the hot water bottle. His eyes filled with a bit of resentment. I headed towards the bedroom. "Feel free. You can sleep in the next room tonight. I'm tired. Can't keep you both company any longer. Good night," I said, going into the bedroom and shutting the door. Outside, the two stood frozen. I barely closed my eyes before the bedroom door quietly opened. "John." A light voice whispered, too tired to respond. "John, I know you're awake." Christina sounded a bit angry. I forced my eyes open. "What's up?" I sent him on his way. "Oh, not letting him stay a night?" Her brow furrowed. "John, Peter and I grew up together. I hope you don't get jealous for no reason." "Jealous?" I laughed. "It just snowed late at night. Roads are slippery. I thought it'd be unsafe for him to drive home." Christina was taken aback. I went back to sleep. She pressed against my back, her breath by my ear. "Don't you have anything else to say?" I kept my eyes shut. "Say what?" Usually you'd have a lot to say at times like this. I opened my eyes. True, every time I saw her with another guy, I'd argue, demand she prove herself. You two grew up together, why would I be jealous? Christina's hand on my shoulder tightened. For the first time in our little battles, she had nothing to say. In my half-asleep state, a hand slid across my stomach. I shivered and quickly caught it. No, I don't want to. She held me, but it's been so long. I clenched her hand. Aren't you curious why I went to the hospital today? My work report said surgery, but not once did she ask how I was. She laughed. I know, just a cold or something. Let me make it up to you? I don't want to. I wrapped myself tighter in the blanket. I said I'm tired. In my relationship with Christina, I was always the one accommodating her. I was always begging her for things. Refusing something like this? Never. The hands behind me tightened. John, you're usually the one begging me for this. Really? No need anymore. She said nothing. A moment later, the bedroom door slammed loudly, waking me from almost sleep. I turned. She was gone from the bed. She'd slammed the bedroom door shut and left. Soon after, I heard a car engine start. I didn't chase after her, didn't text her an apology like I usually did when I upset her. Instead, I finally lay in bed, actually able to get some solid rest. The whole next day, Christina didn't come home. I didn't check in on her like before. I met with Ken, discussing our next steps. He was thrilled, almost set off fireworks, finding out I was getting a divorce. Knew you'd come to your senses. You're not meant to be some house husband reporting every penny. I chuckled. Then Christina called. It's dark now. Where are you? I paused. You're home? Usually, after a fight, she'd leave me hanging at home for a week until I completely lost my temper before coming back. Nearly at the door, fireworks burst across the night sky brightly. I looked up just like what I saw last night. As I watched, lost in thought, a Rolls-Royce pulled up and a familiar figure stepped out. Christina smiled at me. Like it? Was it for me? What? Thought I'd forgotten. She stood beside me, linking my arm and watching the sky with me. I was drunk last night. Let the driver head home early for New Year's Eve. So Peter drove me back. Hope you don't mind. It's beautiful. Lost in the fireworks, my reply was absent-minded. Christina called, breaking the moment. John. I turned. Yeah? She had a slight displeasure in her expression, but eventually sighed. I know you're upset because I arranged a fireworks show for him, but he's just returned to the country, and then there were your comments before. Why would I be upset with you? I chuckled. I can also see the fireworks show you gave him. Isn't that nice? John. She was stunned. Anyway, thank you. This one was even better than last night's. She studied my expression. You're not angry? Why should I be angry? You guys grew up together and one of you just came back to the country. It's only right to give him something. Christina stood there, stunned. A moment later, an emotion that seemed like guilt seeped into her usually indifferent eyes. She tightened her grip on my arm. Let's go on a trip? You've been cooped up at home for too long. I thought about how I needed to prepare for the IELTS and shook my head. No, I'm fine at home. Her hand, which was holding my arm, froze. But I already booked it. Then take someone else? John, she frowned. I chose an intimate couple itinerary. I lowered my gaze, watching the fireworks reflected in her eyes. If I'd heard a few days ago that she was willing to put in effort for me, especially for a couple's custom trip, I'd have probably been thrilled to hug her. After all, I enjoyed being her husband so much that I wanted everyone to know we were a pair. But now I just smiled gently. Thanks for your effort, but I really can't go. Her face was full of disbelief. I lightly pushed her hand away. It's too cold outside. Let's go back inside. I turned and opened the door. But when I looked back, Christina hadn't followed me. Instead, she got into the car, slammed the door shut, making a loud noise. Then she started the engine and drove off. She's always like this. Whenever we have a disagreement, she leaves me standing there, then blocks every way to contact her, waiting for me to run out of emotions and reconcile, leaving a tired out me to clean up the feelings. But now I didn't even send a message. I went inside the house. Christina didn't come home for a whole week. I didn't ask, just spent my days with Ken, sipping tea, memorizing words, and practicing speaking. And I successfully got hired with an advance paycheck from Lynn. The stock transfer might take a little time, but in the end, everything will be returned to you. Since you got married, our stocks have increased a lot. Ken excitedly told me about the company's development these years. The more he talked, the more bittersweet I felt. Thank you for all your hard work over the years. Just as I finished speaking, my notification pinged with a special alert. It was a post from Peter. I used to be bothered by Christina and her childhood friend, Peter, who was abroad, because every time Christina went abroad, she would always spend time with him. I didn't want them too close, but I was curious about what happened between them, so I awkwardly set Peter as special attention. In the post, he was wearing sunglasses, sitting in a helicopter, with an arm around someone's shoulder, happily taking a selfie. The caption read, "Who says childhood sweethearts can't have an intimate trip?" Though the person beside him had sunglasses and a mask, I recognized Christina immediately. I didn't call to question why she took Peter there. I only liked the post and then removed Peter from special attention. As soon as I put the phone down, Christina called. "I'll be home for dinner tonight." I didn't quite get what she meant. "Should I save some food for you?" Christina's voice was a bit restrained. "John, don't you understand what I mean?" I didn't respond. She hung up. "We don't have a maid at home. For one, she only likes my cooking." Later, it became her reason not to hire a maid, thinking it would encourage my laziness. Back home, I made dinner for two and sent her a message. "What time will you be back?" She didn't reply. I didn't wait foolishly late into the night as I used to. I ate my part alone. Waited a bit longer, but still no word from her, so I packed up her meal in the fridge, covering it with cling film. I needed to study. No time to be tangled up with her. However, studying at home seemed inconvenient. Perhaps I should go to the library tomorrow. No worries about her coming home and disturbing me there. The next day, I went to the library. By the time I was hungry, it was already dusk outside. For the first time, I realized I hadn't thought about Christina all day. Turns out I didn't need to rely on her to have my own little world. Just as I thought of this, Christina's call came in. "You're not home?" "At the library." "What's up?" She paused before speaking. "Let's talk. I'll pick you up." "Yeah, we did have things to discuss. I actually wanted to find her too." "Okay." When I got my stuff together and went downstairs, Christina's car was already parked at the entrance. I instinctively went to open the passenger door. A surprised voice cut in. "Hey, John." Peter's sleeve was tangled in Christina's hair. "Sorry." Christina was picking up her lipstick, and her hair got caught. "Don't misunderstand. Nothing's going on between us." Even so, his casual placement of his hand on Christina's hand and his challenging glance really weren't apologetic. Christina glanced at me, lifted her hand, and untangled her hair herself. At the same time, she looked up at me, cold eyes filled with a hint of probing, as if trying to catch something in my expression. I didn't ask why she brought Peter along, or why his seat was up front. I didn't need an explanation on why her hair was so entangled. I just smiled casually. "You grew up together. What would I misunderstand?" Then I opened the back seat door and got in. After I settled my bag, I noticed Christina looking at me through the rearview mirror, her eyebrows lowered with a frown. I had no clue why she was upset. Was she mad because I didn't demand she prove her innocence like before? "What's up?" I asked. She seemed to have something stuck in her throat, and finally, she sighed heavily and started the engine. "Nothing." Peter looked at her cautiously, glanced at me through the mirror, seeming a bit annoyed. "How about we eat out today?" Christina said as she drove. Peter nodded immediately. "Sure. Let's go to that place we used to go. I haven't eaten there in ages." I was asking John. I was listening to a language lesson with headphones, and her words caught me off guard. "Me?" "Yeah." Christina looked at me through the mirror. "How about that restaurant we went to on our first date?" Peter's face fell. I shrugged indifferently. "Whatever." Christina continued looking at me, maybe waiting for more words. When I didn't say anything else, she sighed softly and gripped the steering wheel, a bit agitated. Peter gently touched her arm. "Christina." "Shut up." Christina yelled under her breath. I was stunned. It was the first time she got mad at Peter, especially after not seeing each other for so long. Peter let go of her arm and looked at me angrily through the mirror. Then he suddenly held his head, wincing. Ouch, my head. I noticed Christina's hand pause. What's wrong? Is it acting up again? Peter's frown deepened. I don't know, it just hurts. Christina, can you take me to the hospital? Going to the hospital meant taking a detour. The nearest one is kilometers away. Christina looked at me through the mirror. But, ouch, Christina, I can't stand it. Christina gripped the wheel tightly and slammed on the brake. John, get out. Just like every other time. Between Peter and me, I'm always the one left behind. But this time I didn't throw a fit. I just opened the door and got out. Oh, okay. Christina seemed taken aback. I turned and started walking back. She rolled down the window. John. I turned back. She hesitated. I'll be home for dinner. I paused. Maybe not. Seems like he needs you. Order takeout at the hospital. Are you jealous? Nope, I answered honestly. But Christina's eyes seemed a little disappointed. Maybe I imagined it. If you're coming back, I'll order takeout for you, I said. She paused. I removed the financial cap for you. You can spend up to 5,000 yuan anytime you like. Oh, thanks, but no need. I chuckled lightly and walked away. That night, Christina didn't come home, nor did she text. I didn't ask either. I just reviewed the test papers from the day and fell asleep. A whole week passed before my IELTS speaking exam, and still not a word from Christina. I guess with all the exam preparation, I had almost forgotten about her. Until I went for a checkup at the hospital and saw Peter near the entrance. Christina wasn't with him. I nodded politely. All good now? He didn't speak and just handed me a paper. It was a pregnancy report. Christina was 3 months pregnant. But Christina and I haven't been intimate lately. 3 months. That lines up with when Christina was abroad on a business project. It's mine and hers, Peter said coldly, lifting his chin as he looked at me. I think you know what to do. You know who Christina will pick between you and me. I laughed a little, my eyes stinging as I looked at the stability noted on the report. Peter snatched it back, hiding it behind him with a sheepish smile. Back so soon? Christina turned and looked at me. I looked back, feeling empty. Christina. I usually called her Christina. Only in the early business days did I use Christina. She frowned and reached for the report behind Peter. What are you hiding? Oh, nothing. Let me see. Christina snatched it and looked at the report, then at me. She suddenly laughed. Are you upset about this? I didn't say anything. For some reason, her laughter seemed like a relief, her tone back to its usual firm control. I wanted to tell you later, didn't want to make you jealous. No, I wouldn't. I smiled. I've talked to a lawyer about the divorce. Once you have time, let's finalize it. Christina froze. What did you say? You two talk. I have things to do. I pushed past Christina, flagged down a taxi, and left. That evening, Christina came home. A dim lamp lit up the living room. I was drowsy on the couch when the door opened, instantly waking me up. She stood at the entrance. I heard you got into an accident. I'll come with you for a checkup tomorrow. It's been ages since my car accident. She just found out. If she had even a little bit of husbandly care in her heart, how could she not know by now? No thanks, I have plans tomorrow. But I want to go with you, she said, sounding a little anxious. I shook my head. It's really okay. I headed towards the bedroom. As I walked by her, she grabbed my hand tightly. After 3 years of marriage, it was the first time she'd held my hand that tightly. After seeing that prenatal test paper, you really have nothing to say? I wasn't sure what she wanted to hear. What am I supposed to say? Her hand trembled a bit, and Christina's voice was shaky too. What about what you used to say? Before, if I saw a prenatal test paper, I probably would have gotten furious, smashed things, and had a huge argument with her. I sighed. Is there anything useful I can say? John. As I tried to leave, she quickly pulled me back. The prenatal test is fake. I just wanted to make you mad. I silently pushed her hand away. I turned and took my medical record from the drawer and handed it to her. But it's true that I can't hold a pen with my hand anymore. The record slipped from her hand once she saw the latest page. The other day, I needed $3,000 for that, I said calmly with no resentment, as if it was something that happened ages ago and wasn't a big deal. It got delayed, and I lost the use of my right hand. Now I'm a lefty. Seeing me holding my phone with my left hand, she started to tremble. She knew the delay was because she rejected my application. So all these days you've been punishing me in this way? She looked at me with red eyes. I shook my head. It's in the past. Don't overthink it. A trace of despair appeared in her eyes. Don't overthink, it was something she'd always said to me. But I wasn't trying to argue through this phrase. It was just heartfelt. I turned and closed the bedroom door. Lying in bed, it took a while before I heard footsteps fade away. I had an IELTS exam the next day, so I closed my eyes and quickly fell asleep. The next day, after the exam, Christina was waiting at home for me, which was rare. When she saw me, her eyes were a bit red. John. Her voice was a bit hoarse. She walked over and pushed a gold card into my hand. From now on, spend my money as you like. Looking at that card, I remembered her saying all her savings were on that card. During the worst of our fights over Peter, I couldn't even touch it. Thanks, but it's not necessary. I put it back in her hand. She looked at me, her hand not clutching the card. It took quite some effort to get her to take the card back. John. Oh, Christina, this is the list of applications I've submitted to you over these 3 years. I pulled out a stack of financial papers from my bag. In the past 3 years, I've applied for $6,721. With interest, let's say $7,500. I recently found a job, so I'm paying you back. Saying this, I took out a wad of 100 yuan bills. I placed the money and papers on the table, looked at her. If you're unsure, Christina, you can call a financial officer to count. She looked stunned, then grabbed the papers crazily, flipping through them one by one. Each clearly stated the date, amount, and purpose with a financial stamp on it. She kept looking at the stack, nearly despairing, clenching it in her palm. All this time, have you only applied for this amount? Yeah. In 3 years, she spent less on me than Peter's return gift. Yet, she was always worried I was bleeding her dry. She sat on the couch, her whole demeanor suddenly looking worn out. I sat beside her, and she quietly said, barely audible, I'm sorry. It's okay. I placed the divorce papers in front of her. Christina looked up, shocked at the sight of the papers. I stood, you can think it over. I'll come back in 3 days. I said this and walked out. Where are you going? Oh, I've rented a place. Planning to move out today. But isn't this your home? Christina stood up suddenly. I glanced around, it used to be, I guess. She seemed taken aback. Looking around, she realized all my things were packed away. With red-rimmed eyes, she held on to me. How could you leave without telling me? Who let you just go, no notice? I looked at her, but I've been packing for 2 weeks. Had you paid a bit of attention, you wouldn't think I was deliberately hiding anything. Her hand froze. 2 weeks ago, she was spending time with Peter. John. Her voice trembled. There was never anything between me and him. I just love you too much. Everything I did was so you'd never leave me. I never thought of separating from you. Peter is just my brother. Those things with him were just to upset you. I pried her fingers off one by one and turned the doorknob. Think it over and sign it. Otherwise, I'll see you in court. During the 3 days staying with Ken, Christina kept sending me messages. From photos of when we first met to our wedding day to my birthday gifts to her. She brought up all our past, trying to remind me. But over 3 years, there were only a few moments worth remembering. On the other hand, the painful memories, those too many to count. I sent her screenshots of our fights when she repeatedly left me for Peter. In no time, it turned into 99+ messages. Christina didn't reply again. 3 days later, she signed the revised agreement and gave it to me. I initially asked for only 30% of the assets, as I'd indeed relied on her financially over these years. But she ended up giving me 70%. With dark circles beneath her eyes, she looked at me. Restricting your expenses was just my way of ensuring you'd always stay by my side. But I was wrong. You're gone, and money doesn't mean much to me now. I didn't refuse. I don't feel anything for her anymore. There's no reason for me to turn down her offer. John, I won't compete with you for Christina anymore. Can you please put in a good word for me? She's blocked me, and I can't reach her. She even took back all the gifts she gave me. I don't even have a place to stay right now. She only listens to you now. Please, can you speak to her for me? I'm just standing on the street, not knowing where to go. I sighed. I can't help you with this, because I blocked her too. I hung up and blocked the number. Ken was ahead, dragging a suitcase, and looked back. Hurry up. The plane's about to leave. I grabbed my suitcase and caught up. Coming.